Shout out to one of my subscribers, Helen Short, for tagging me in this story right here. Y'all, we have a Rachel Dolezal 2.0. Just when we thought that we were done with her, now we see that there's another one out here who's pretending to, be her. And when I say be her, I'm talking about pretending to be a black woman. This woman's name is Jessica Krug or Krug. And she is an African American history professor at George Washington University. Now, this story lines right up with Rachel Dolezal because she did the same thing, pretending to be a black woman. She got exposed by her parents that she was white. She got into Howard University pretending to be black, most likely stole a scholarship from someone else who was qualified in black because, it is what it is. And this woman literally is doing the textbook thing that Rachel Dolezal was doing because Rachel Dolezal, I think, was teaching classes or something like that. And then, she went on to be a president at one of the chapters of the NAACP and just pretending to be a black woman when it was like the NAACP wasn't even founded by black people. You could have easily did that without pretending to be black. But okay, whatever. So now you have this woman by the name of Jessica Krug or Krug. Her last name is spelled Krug. And she just got exposed because she's actually a white woman. Surprise, surprise. Let me just go ahead and get into this. A professor of African American history at George Washington University who publicly identified as black has now admitted she is a white woman from Kansas and has been lying about her race for years. Jessica Krug, age 38, revealed on Thursday in a bombshell Medium post that she has lied about being black her entire career and admitted to deceiving her friends and colleagues. She said in a blog post titled "The Truth and the Anti-Black Violence of My Lies" that she is white, Jewish, and was raised in Kansas City. For the better part of my adult life, every move I've made, every relationship I've formed has been rooted in the napalm toxic soil of lies. So this woman literally has the privilege. One of the key words there is that she's Jewish. This woman has privilege at the palm of her hands, and she wants to go out there and pretend to be something that she is not. I'm telling you, they are dying to be us. Let me continue. To an escalating degree over my adult life, I have eschewed my lived experience as a white Jewish child in suburban Kansas City under various assumed identities within a blackness that I had no right to claim. First North African blackness, then U.S. rooted blackness, then Caribbean rooted Bronx blackness. This woman just went all over the spectrum with her lies. She was trying to be every variation of black. That's more than Rachel Dolezal did. Rachel was only trying to be one type of black. This woman was trying to be three. In a video posted online in June of this year under her activist pseudonym, Jessica La Bombalera, Krug denounces all these white New Yorkers who waited 4 hours with us to be able to speak and then did not yield their time for black and brown indigenous New Yorkers. Before I go on, never in your life ever say that palm color does not carry self-hatred. This, at the end of the day, while it definitely is cultural appropriation and she is being a leech, this is also self-hatred. She doesn't like herself. She doesn't like being a white woman, even though as a white woman, she has a lot of privileges, but hey, it is what it is. She adds much power to all of my siblings who were standing up, my black and brown siblings who were standing. In an online bio, Jessica describes herself as an unrepentant and unreformed child of the hood. Oh my God. Her book, Fugitive Modernities, includes the acknowledgement my ancestors, unknown, unnamed, who bled life into a future they had no reason to believe could or should exist. Those whose names I cannot say for their own safety, whether in my burial, in Angola, or in Brazil. Krug's online profession is reminiscent of the scandal involving Rachel Dolezal, a former NAACP leader in Washington State who was exposed in 2015 as a white woman pretending to be black. Krug, who has a PhD, described herself as a culture leech and a coward. Well, at least she's taking acknowledgement for what she did, because that Rachel Dolezal, she went around and still was claiming to be a black woman, even though her parents exposed her for being a white woman. She has taken financial support from the Schomburg Center for Research in Black Culture. See? What did I tell you? Something that could have been for somebody else who was actually black, she got it. In 2009, she is understood to have been awarded as Fulbright Hayes Doctoral Dissertation Research Abroad Fellowship. Her neighbor in the Bronx, Anna Anderson, told the Daily Mail that Krug would call her white trash and tell Anderson she was gentrifying the neighborhood by going running. This woman was so entrenched that she was black that she told her white neighbor, another white woman, that she was white trash and that she was gentrifying the neighborhood, when that's exactly what her ass was doing too. But not only was she gentrifying the neighborhood, she was trying to gentrify an entire culture. Three different versions of black, by the way. In her Medium post, Krug said, "I have thought about ending these lies many times over many years, but my cowardice was always more powerful than my ethics." No, you were enjoying the benefits of being black as far as getting certain financial avenues and certain accolades that could have been set aside for somebody else. That's what you were enjoying. Because if you really wanted to, you could have ended this years ago, or better yet, not did it at all. She got comfortable in her new skin, in her costume. That's a better way to put it. She got comfortable in her costume. I know right from wrong. I know history. I know power. I am a coward. There is no ignorance, no innocence, nothing to claim, nothing to defend. I have moved wrong in every way for many years. You should absolutely cancel me, and I absolutely cancel myself. That statement right there, she's trying to find sympathy. I feel absolutely nothing for her. Don't garner no sympathy for this woman. You will not try to pull the same thing many of you did with Rachel Dolezal back in 2015. I have built my life on a violent anti-black lie, and I have lied in every breath I have taken. I have not lived a double life. Well, no, you've lived a triple life, because you tried to be three different versions of black people, three different black cultures within the confinement of what's deemed blackness, the diaspora, while completely shunning your original form, which is you being a palm-colored Jewish woman from Kansas. There is no parallel form of my adulthood connected to white people or a white community or an alternative white identity. I have lived this life fully, completely, with no exit plan or strategy. I have built only this life, a life within which I have operated with a radical sense of ethics, of right and wrong, and with rage rooted in black power and ideology which every person should support, but to which I have no possible claim as my own. She acknowledged that it would be unlikely she could repair any relationship she has made given the extent of her lies. I have burned every bridge, and I have no expectation that any of my relationships are flame resistant. I would never ask for nor expect forgiveness. To everyone who trusted me, who fought for me, who vouched for me, who loved me, who was feeling shock and betrayal and rage and bone marrow deep hurt and confusion, violation in this world and beyond, I beg you, please do not question your own judgment or doubt yourself. You were not naive. I was audaciously deceptive. She can use all these big SAT words that she wants, but we still don't forgive her. I had very clear, loud conscience, but I have acted as if I had none. I gaslit you. I begged you for compassion and love for my isolation and loneliness, real and raw feelings, but born of the avalanche of deceit. In her blog post, Krug says she has battled unaddressed mental health demons in her entire life. Oh my God, here it comes. And that she first assumed a false identity as a child. She wrote that her mental health issues could never explain or justify why she pretended to be black. So now her mental health issues is what made her decide to want to wake up one day and say, you know what, I'm not white anymore. I'm going to be black. This is that transracial mess. When I was a teenager fleeing trauma, I could just run away to a new place and become a new person. But this isn't trauma that anyone imposed on me. This is harm that I have enacted onto so many others. There's nowhere to run. I have ended the life that I had no right to live in the first place, she said. No white person, no non-black person has the right to claim proximity or belonging in a black community by virtue of abuse, trauma, non-acceptance, and non-belonging in a white community. The abuse within and alienation from my birth family and society are no one's burden but my own and mine alone to address. Black people and black communities have no obligation to harbor the refuse of non-black societies. I have done this. I know it is wrong, and I have done this anyway. Jessica has been teaching classes on African American history at George Washington University since 2012. GW, another school in DC. Her biography page on the university website says she also specializes in subjects including Latin America, Africa, imperialism, and colonialism. She has a PhD from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, according to the GW webpage. Jessica has also written books and essays on blackness and black culture. Some of the outlets who have published her work started deleting the post on Thursday after the revelations. A George Washington University spokesperson said they are aware of the post and are looking into the situation, adding, "We cannot comment further on personnel matters." Following the revelations in her post, Jessica has since been slammed on Twitter, and rightfully so, by several black writers and scholars who she had contact with throughout her career. Hari Zahad, a black author and screenwriter, claimed that she only had penned the post because she had been found out. True. That's one thing. That's the only reason why they believe that she said something, because she got exposed. Otherwise, she would have went on and continued on with this charade. In a series of scathing tweets, Zahad said he considered Jessica to be a friend until she called him a few hours prior to the Medium post being published to confess. Jessica Krug, who is someone I called a friend up until this morning when she gave me a call admitting everything written here. She didn't do it out of benevolence. She did it because she had been found out. For years, I defended her work and her from her own self-loathing. I did it despite warnings from black friends, from those who said she wasn't black enough, even if they could accept that she was black, and from my own mind and body. I always knew there was something off. It was in her persistent negativity and jealousy, her always needing to prove her authenticity at the expense of everything else. I kept her at arm's length, but still close enough that she could harm black people around me. I owe so many people an apology. I wish I could say I'm surprised by what I just read, but I'm not. I absolutely am not. Because it's happened before, and it's still happening to this day. This woman is pure trash. Listen, we are not going to do the same thing with her that we did with Rachel Dolezal, where you had black people out there trying to cape for her. No, I don't care how many books this woman has written. I don't care how many African American classes she has taught. I don't care how many Afro fests she's been to. I don't care how many Harambe festivals she's been to. I don't care how many times she has seen Black Panther. Dispose of her. Not in the way that many think with what I just said. I mean, dispose of her as get rid of that type of element. We got a lot of stuff going on for this woman to come over and think that she's just gonna don a costume because she thinks it looks cool, and then fool so many people. She must think just because she has a wide nose, that was enough. But, it always reveals itself. I do not accept any form of an apology that this woman could possibly give. Up until today, I didn't know her. And after today, it's fuck her for life. And I still don't know her.